Hello, this is Angela with Parker's Permaculture. I am standing in the front yard of my Portland, Oregon permaculture garden. This is kind of part of the food forest section, as you can see here. Lots and lots of layers going on. And today I want to talk about two plants growing down in the bottom in the herbaceous layer. Please forgive the traffic. We are in the front yard up by the street. So I did some videos last year talking about some of the perennial greens that I'm trying to grow and add to my permaculture garden.
Filming this video was a bit of a challenge, as you will see later. The resident stray Jack loves to follow me around the garden. I'm trying to explain about perennial veggies and he is very insistent on getting my attention. So it may be a little choppy here and there for the rest of the video, but cat.
Last year I did some videos talking about perennial greens that I am adding or have been growing. And two of the ones I featured were Turkish Rocket and Good King Henry. And I've gotten a lot of requests for updates on those plants, especially for updates on the Good King Henry. So I want to take a few moments and show you how my Turkish Rocket is doing, how I am able to divide it and propagate it, and how my Good King Henry plants are doing, and what they look like, how they're settling in the garden. And you guys had asked, like, how did that go propagating Good King Henry from seed? I had a really low germination, but for me, getting any to germinate meant that once I had three established plants, I could then take little root cuttings, and I have now multiplied my Good King Henry patch so that I think it is 9 plants around the garden. So let me show you. Okay, so here's how my Turkish Rocket is looking right now. I always have volunteer radishes. I let these go everywhere. I pull them up and give them as treats to the birds. And then I let a number of them flower and go to seed, so they kind of self-sow. So these are everywhere. They serve as kind of like a ground cover, chicken snack, and then pollinator food. So don't mind them around the base of this rocket. This is the rocket, one plant, and this here is what I'm gonna harvest. This is the perennial quote-unquote broccoli. It's more like broccoli rabe, and there'll be quite a bit of it, and if I cut it back, I'll get more. Great for stir fries. These smaller leaves, also good.
Let's be clear here, we're not looking at those giant heads of broccoli that you get from the annual brassica. Turkish Rocket is much more like broccoli rabe, delicious and a very similar flavor, great in stir fry, but it's going to be small.
As the summer goes on and the weather gets hotter, these larger leaves here, and especially these really big ones, are going to be tough, and you aren't going to want to eat those. Now, I did a little experiment in February. I took a little tiny root cutting from the base. I don't know if you can see in here how many starts there are. All of these, I could come in here and cut off a section and get a new one. In fact, that's what I did. So come over here, and this is a little tiny section that I cut off, and I have a whole new plant. Really easy to take these from root divisions, very much like the Good King Henry. Much easier to start as a division than to get it going from seed. Are you a good boy? Hello, baby. Hello, Jack. Hello. Good boy. Okay. This is my Good King Henry, one of several that I started from seed last year. And you can see they're doing really well. Now, this is a bed that used to be all potatoes, and you can see some of other Good King Henry over here. Now, I had my kids clean out the potatoes in the fall, and they weren't like super efficient in doing so. So I have a bunch of potato volunteers. And what I'm doing is I'm just pulling these greens up and using them as mulch. So this is a potato leaf. You can tell this is a blue potato. We had all blue in here. Pull that up. I'm just putting it down as mulch around my Good King Henry. So last year it looked like we had pretty much cleaned this out, but enough little chunks survived that this year there are too many of them, and I want this bed to fill in and have a border here of my Good King Henry. So Good King Henry is another one of those perennial spring greens that are good as a substitute for spinach. You can cook them, and they're quite tasty. It is very hard to get it going from seed. I had to cold stratify my seed, and I had low germination. And I did get some plants, but not nearly as many as I would like. However, much like my Turkish Rocket, once it gets going in here, a little borage volunteer, I'll throw that to the chickens. Once it gets going here, I should be able to come in this year and take more divisions. Last year, I took a couple. So here's one of the other ones in this strip here that gets a little bit more aggressive sun, and so therefore it's bolting a little bit harder here. They will keep living after they bolt, don't worry about that. I do think that they are a permaculture plant whose deliciousness and use is maybe a little bit exaggerated, much like maybe sunchokes or you know, like herb spirals or any of those kind of typical permaculture token elements and plants. Good King Henry in a temperate climate can be a little bit overly praised. It's not bad. There are definite uses for chicken snacks. I like it cooked. It's not perfect, as you can see here. Pick a leaf. It can be a little bit prone to leaf miners. Not nearly as bad as Swiss chard, but I have had a little bit of leaf miner damage on it the last couple of years. Throw that to the birds. Hi guys. Oh, bye. Okay, I'll get another one for you. So that's a look at Good King Henry. You guys asked for an update on how they were doing, and I really wanted to show you. They do die back to the ground in winter, so as the summer goes on, they're gonna get much, much larger. Side note here, anytime I see a weed coming up, it just gets pulled and put right back on the bed as mulch. Weed, this is how I keep my weeds under control. I wanna get them when they're little, and I wanna pull them up and put them right back on the bed so they can lend fertility. This nipplewort here comes up on the bed. Things like plantain, though, I'm gonna leave. Those are desirable plants that I don't want to get rid of. Even my potatoes here, right? Coming up. They're where I don't want them. Mulch. Another nipplewort coming up. Mulch. So thanks for watching today. I'll be back real soon with more from my permaculture garden here. It is the tail end of May. It is starting to feel a little bit like summer. Really beautiful and lush and green and abundant, and I'm really excited about what's happening in the garden. I hope that you're staying well and safe and you're enjoying this holiday weekend, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, by the way. Thanks.